Yes, welcome. And I would encourage all who are here to get yourself somewhere comfortable. Allow your body to relax.
Mhm.
Draw that focus into your breath. I know we're in front of screens, which isn't always the most energetically relaxing experience, but the to the extent that you can, just allow for your eyes to soften and let yourself go into receive mode. And know that as you relax and as you look inward and as you follow along, that you have full permission to, well, full permission to experience what you experience.
Yes, and any questions that come through, perhaps maybe after the activation, we can address those in the chat.
Absolutely. And we're at time. So, but like you said, Melinda, it'd be a great time for us to introduce ourselves. So, I'm Patrick Geary. For those of you I haven't had the pleasure of meeting before, I am an intuitive astrologer, and I'm a cosmic channel and a magician and many other things. And I am really excited to be with all of you tonight and really relight our fire, go back to the pure essence of who we are as it exists inside of us in every cell, in every moment. And would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Well, and I also want to mention that Patrick is one of my Wisdom Keeper interviews that will be coming up. So be on the lookout for that. We had a jolly great chat on Wisdom Keepers of Earth, and Patrick will be my guest this month. So, hi, I'm Melinda Iverson, and I am a dowser. Basically, people know me as a dowser. I'm also an interdimensional communicator. So, pretty much communicate with celestial bodies and animals and fae folk and all interdimensionals. I can communicate with those, and it's fun to do that. I teach dowsing classes. I am excited to be here. I've done activations since pretty much 2008 or so, when I realized that they were just coming through me naturally. And I'm so excited to be a part of this live with Patrick Geary here to share this information with you that came through activating our primordial. And of course, Patrick is the expert in the understanding of astrological things. I'm not, and I would love Patrick to talk about also the significance of today, well, yesterday, today, and how maybe doing this activation is so important for this time frame. What do you think,
Yeah,
Patrick?
well, certainly when we look at equinox energy, and the equinox itself happened yesterday as the sun entered into the sign of Aries, at least when we're looking at tropical or Western astrology. And here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're looking at the spring equinox. And the equinox it's a power point for the sun and a powerful moment for the solar cycle. It's when the sun is either moving into, or the earth is moving either into mostly daylight and out of mostly nighttime here in the northern hemisphere, or it'll be the reverse in the southern hemisphere. So this is a major turning point when we go from mostly dark to mostly light. If any of you follow the lunar cycle here in the northern hemisphere, this would be equivalent to the first quarter moon. In the southern hemisphere, it would be the third quarter moon. Either way, it's a notable turning point. And that sort of turning point energy, it feels a little bit like a crossroads,
Mm-hmm.
and that it's now time to make a choice about how you want to live, at least if we're looking at the first quarter moon or spring energy, or even if we think about Aries, because the sun is going to Aries no matter where you are. So this is a reset point. It's going from the last degree of the zodiac to the first degree of the zodiac. So it has inception energy. And at the same time, it also has this first quarter moon energy, or this energy that's really wanting to push us forward. So I think of this as growth spurt time of really selecting. If you imagine on the forest floor, there might be 10 saplings that are there, and there's room for one of them to grow into a tree. So nature is going to focus on which one of these is going to grow into a tree. And now we're focusing on what do we want to grow into. So there's a tremendous amount of energy that's coming through and that's coming in. And Aries also brings an awareness of you and you as all that is. I think Aries, above all else, it's I am energy, and that I am energy is presence energy. And it's not just the individual, but especially as we're becoming more aware that separation is an illusion, that we are all deeply connected, it's just how big are you conceiving of that I? Is it I am, I, Patrick am? Is it I and Melinda am? Is it I, Melinda, and all of us here am? Is it I, all of London am? Is it I, the planet? Is it I, the solar system? So it's really that awareness of you as an individual and that power of unity and the expression of energetic unity that comes through at this particular moment. So this is why we're now more and more able through our awareness, like we were talking about in the pre-chat around what's happening in Hawaii. If we expand our I am tonight to include Hawaii, or tonight or this afternoon, depending on wherever you are, to include Hawaii, then suddenly we're bringing that energy and that activation energy in. So there's really this awareness of how you can be big and how you can be small. And as we move into that, one of the most centering and grounding things that you can do is have a deeply grounded sense of who you are.
Yeah.
You in the maybe in the little y sense, the you of in this body, in this lifetime, as your person now, as you exist and as you experience yourself in this moment, the more that you can know who you are, what your purpose is, why you're here, and what you're all about, your own pure essence, your frequency, the more that you can know that and that you can be it, the more that you are creating a world where everything is resonant around you. So it makes so much sense to me that we're looking at the collective. This is really what this activation is for me. It's not just about us as people, it's about us activating the new earth. It's about us having a new paradigm, us understanding that we are everything, that we are the creator. And the way that we do that is by understanding ourselves and really going deep within. So it made so much sense when we were talking that we would want to do this on the equinox.
Yeah, so the I am presence is something that we are looking at today, and that in the sense of activating that original flame of who you are and what does that actually mean. And I have some notes here, so please forgive me if I'm reading notes. Um, and as we do this activation, there are some things that we want to do. First of all, we want to bless this entire session and everyone who has joined us. We also want to offer this activation up on the altar of truth for anyone who wants to participate, maybe on the inner planes, but couldn't for any reason come. So we'll put this up on a buffet table for any of those that would like to participate as sort of a healing, and it'll be there for them, aside from those that are here with us today. So the activation that we will be looking at today is more of an awakening of that primordial flame that lives within you. And for some, this experience might be a remembering of your non human cosmic origins. And for others, it'll simply arise as a deepening sense of compassion and belonging. As Patrick mentioned, about the we, the I to the we idea. So if you experience this as more of a belonging and more of an understanding of who you are, that's wonderful too. And if you happen to have memories of your cosmic origins, that's wonderful too. So don't be surprised. Just be open to allow what comes through. Um, Patrick, should we do a little blessing?
Let's.
Okay. So, for everyone who's here, we offer this beautiful blessing. We ask for openness. We ask for those that are participating to give themselves permission to look at and open up to this idea of really awakening that original flame that lives within you that you were born with. Everyone was born with this. So give yourself permission. You're in a sacred, safe place here. We ask for all love and blessings. And of course, with the love and blessings comes protections from our guides. And we ask for blessings from the universe and the highest of the high during this session. Um, Thank you.
Ah, it was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's get started. So Patrick and I have discussed this before, and he's very familiar with some of the things I'm going to mention. But first of all, part one, when I ask my guides about this primordial level, it was a surprise to me, because when I do the work that I do, my passion is healing. I work with healing. And I would always look at levels like physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. And they kept saying, no, 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 go somewhere else. I'm like, where do I go? And they sent me to this primordial level. Now, primordial, you think is of basics, water, food, shelter, but that wasn't it. This primordial level is your original conception. You want to think of it as the first time that you ever were born into a physical system, not just your past lives. As Patrick and I have discussed, I mean, we're talking about going all the way back to the very first incarnation of you, or as you, as a physical, not you, this you, but you back then. It's really hard to explain. But in Zen, they talk about it as your face before you were born, or your face before your parents were born. It's also known, if you look at Sanskrit, Adi, ADI. And in Sanskrit, that means the first beginning or primordial. So this primal idea has been around for a very long time. And so this activation is new to me, but it has been written about for a long time. It's also one of the steps on the path to enlightenment. So when you are able to activate and understand and awaken this flame that exists within you, it's one of the stepping stones on the path to enlightenment. It doesn't mean that you become enlightened. It means that you have to work at it. You know, you still chop wood and carry water, right? So this activation is saying it's okay to be who you are. It's okay to accept who you are, acknowledge who you are, and it's okay to show who you are. And we've been hiding our flames for so long because of many cruel teachings and things that have been happening over eons of time in our physical system. But when I asked my guides about this, they said that every light has a unique expression of physicality, and you have a choice in how you interact with your physical in each lifetime. And I thought, wow, okay, so we're starting with the very first light expression, which is your primordial flame that you carry with you through all of your lifetimes. Patrick, any, I don't want to go, but that's the first step. So do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
I think that's really beautiful. And if I were to make a tie into the energy that's around us now, and this Aries energy and the Aries point energy, and that sun crossing in from the last to the first, the completing of the circle. When I was at a gathering last night and leading a similar activation, or well, different, but in some way similar activation, one of the things that really struck me was when we focus on who we really are and what we truly want, what we want our expression to be, when we really listen to our heart, to our soul, to the fundamental deep knowing of who we are that has no words, that has nothing other than that pure primal feeling of presence, that is what is best for us, and it is also what is best for the world and for all around us. And what really struck me in an exercise I led last night, when we all connected with, this is who I am, this is what I want, this is where I want to be, is that there was this similar thread, this thread that ran across across all of our visions. And in that vision, it was this desire to be in community with one another, this desire to support one another, this desire to resource one another, this desire to be in harmony with nature, this desire to create a beautiful, safe, vibrant earth. So that really struck me, that knowledge that we're so often taught that it can be selfish to go for what you want or to be who you are, or it can be dangerous to express yourself in some way. Like you say, we've had so many experiences across time and space that would lead us to believe that. And when you really get down to the essence, it's so clear to me now that no, no, that is the best thing that you can do. The best thing that you can do is to know yourself on that primal level, to trust it, to work with it, and to make choices from that place. And know that when you make a choice from that place, it's not just what's best for you, it's what's best for everyone.
Yes, that's beautiful. So, part two of this discussion, and I love that, that ties into this, is the kind of primordial healing that we're looking at. So, one of the things that Patrick just brought up is there could be a misunderstanding of not wanting to show your original conception light, that, hiding it was the way to stay safe. It was before, but not anymore. This is bigger than that. You will feel safer. You will feel more protected when you really emerge into this idea and allow this to come through as a connector to everyone else, because within that community of connection is safety. Um, so we are going to activate and align the original conception light within all levels of your being. That's the goal today, is to at least sort of get that started, and something that you can explore deeper either with Patrick or myself later on if you'd like. Okay, so any before we get started, can we go, Patrick? Are you ready?
I'm ready. I think let's do it.
Ready? Yay. Okay. So on my notes here, some of the notes that came forward last night were um, what happens when we begin to activate this primordial. So you give yourself permission to heal. So everyone in this chat and everyone participating, please give yourself permission to heal this and reveal this. We're uncovering, acknowledging, and honoring your original conception flame. It's a transformation of the sacred heart activation to human beings right now. So you can say, here's an example. And I say my name, Melinda Iverson N, claim the primordial sense of sacred love as it was first breathed into my being by God, source, universe. You can use whatever words you'd like. Thank you for breathing into my heart. Let me love everyone. So that's the first step. So you're claiming your primordial sense of that sacred love of when you were first breathed into a form. Now, we were all born pristine and pure. That's something you want to acknowledge. You were born, your original flame is pristine and pure, period. So all of the things that have been keeping us from growing and activating that and awakening that flame within us, or hiding it. So it's kind of been there. Sometimes it flickers. We hide it because we feel like we need to, but now is the time to really open that up. So as in the pre-chat, Patrick mentioned there was a planet that wanted to participate. Thank you. And you mentioned it was planet Earth, right, Patrick?
I did very clearly.
So planet Earth is wanting to help us. So right now, what do we do here on planet Earth? We ground to her. So we want to feel like we're deeply connected to the core of Mother Earth right now. That is going to help us with this activation or awakening of this flame. So from your root chakra down, You want to ground all the way down. And everyone knows where their root chakra is. So just take that and run a cord down to the center of Mother Earth so that you are grounded this whole time. The activation doesn't mean leaving your body. The activation means you are aware of having a physical body, and you can do many things within that physical body with this awakening of your original flame. So stay in your bodies. Surrender to divine. So when we were conceived, you were created, right? You were created by a source. You came into a physical being with the understanding of that faith. That is what we're looking for now, to understand and surrender to this knowledge that you were conceived and created in this beautiful creation that you are. And you have been through all of your iterations of physical form. Acknowledging the beauty and the grace of that is really important. So no matter what has been coming up for you from the past recently, because I've seen it, and I'm sure Patrick has too, memories of the past, of things that haven't gone right, or we think about decisions we made or whatever, we could have taken a different path. This is where you understand and surrender that you're pristine, you're pure, your creation is divine, that you are surrendering into the faith and truth that every decision you ever made in any lifetime, no matter what form it was perfect. That is important. Do you have anything to add to that, Patrick? If not, we'll move on. And
I think, yeah, that is one thing that I've been reflecting on a lot recently. We had an eclipse in this past eclipse season. We just had a lunar eclipse in Virgo about 2.5 weeks ago. And that theme around perfection and purity came through so strongly in my life and in the lives of those around me. And that deep knowledge that perfection, it's not a fixed state. It's not, when we think about truth, it's not a fixed image that you're looking at. It's an experience, and it's forever moving. And perfection isn't static. Perfection makes room for evolution. So, like you described, it's a series of choices and choice points, and every choice point leads to the next choice point, which leads to the next choice point. So you're making a perfect decision now, which leads to another decision, which leads to another decision. So it's not this static idea of I'm perfect, I stop growing, and I have to maintain this idea of perfection. It's this deep knowledge that whatever I'm doing leads to whatever comes next. And I am continually evolving. I am continually expanding. Like, you look at our universe, we know that it's expanding, and there's no question that it's growing in its awareness. And we are the same. We are growing in our awareness. And that in and of itself is perfection. So it's this, for me, this revision of perfection as a process. It's a state of unfoldment, as you describe. And when we embrace that, we allow for the purity to flow through.
so whatever has been coming up for you lately about I didn't make this decision, or I didn't do that path, or I didn't take this, that isn't important. That what's important is that you understand, acknowledge, and love all of the yous, no matter what decisions you made. That's important. So moving on to this transmutation. So now we're in this physical system and we've transmuted, right? We have this transmutation that's taking place. We're also in transmutation with Earth. So here we are evolving, and the essence of who we are is this divine spark. Now, how do we do this? Releasing as many of the beliefs that you think you can't show who you really are is part of the process. So sometimes it takes deeper work, but if you can let go of as many of those as possible. I've seen people tell me, well, there's no way I could have an original spark because I'm a bad person, or whatever the mind says. That isn't truth. Those are big lies that we've been telling ourselves based on some other teachings. So right now, releasing the beliefs that you can that are preventing you from acknowledging and uncovering your original flame. So we all agree, just shed that and be in love with all parts of yourself as much as you can. So here's the way. And if we want to take a second to do that, I like that idea, Patrick, of just taking a moment and maybe closing your eyes and allowing yourself any of the negativity about who you are, what you look like, where you've come from, what decisions you made. If you can just take a moment and sense a soothing balm, a love to that, to all those parts of you that felt like they were struggling or had made choices that you would have made differently. There's all the different parts of you and all the different yous out there in the universe that probably took different paths. And you can love all of those yous that are out there, all the different iterations of who you are throughout time, space, all the different parts of you. And just take a moment and go into the sacred heart and love all of those yous and the beliefs that don't work for you anymore. You are a pure, pristine creation of original flame, and you have an original spark from the highest of the highs, the universe, God source. That's you. You were given the gift of creation, and we accept that gift. Now we're going to take our hands, cup our hands. We're going to do the physical aspect of this, the kinesthetics. We're going to cup your hands in a prayer position. Now, inside of your cupped hands, so I'm going to open my hands so you can see them. There's a Melinda right now in here. All of Melinda. I have her inside of my cupped hands. Imagine yourself inside of your cupped hands, your entire system. Within these cupped hands is a safe place for you to see, acknowledge, and uncover your primordial flame. Right? You're holding yourself safe within this place right here. So when you close your eyes, you can imagine yourself in there. And you can see the original flame shining brightly. And the way my guides mentioned it was, imagine the flame of Saint Germain that runs through you. So you're connected to the earth from your first chakra all the way up through your seventh, the top of your head, and up through your eighth chakra and above. You have this beautiful flame that, although it comes in from the heart, it runs through all of your chakra systems. And you allow this to burn brightly throughout your whole being, right here in your cupped hands. You can uncover and acknowledge that beautiful you, the original conception of the you. This is the wisdom and the knowledge that you've carried with you through all of your lifetimes. Sometimes it's been covered up, sometimes it's been like a blinking light, and now we want it to shine and stream through brightly through all of your system, up through your chakras. Allow this to come through. When you activate this primordial state gives you confidence in who you are. It activates the confidence in your being. And this is the part of the oneness that we all share, is this primordial activation, this primordial flame, this original conception. When you hold yourself safe within the comfort of your own being, this safety allows expansion. This flame is always there for you to acknowledge and come back to for peace and healing that you can provide for yourself. This is the place of your unique and sovereign self, right here, within your hands. If you have an injury to a part of your system, you can put it in your cupped hands as well. Provide healing. So just as an entire tree lives within the seed, so too your I am presence is within this single flame. And when you are ready, we can, several things you can do. You can put this flame with both of your hands into your sacred heart. Or, as suggested by my brilliant cosmic friend Patrick, you can breathe it in to your whole system. And you'll feel this coming up through all of you, all of the yous, this flame, think of this flame of Saint Germain. Now, living in this primordial state again offers confidence, but it will also help you to practice tolerating humans. You're going to learn tolerance and patience with this part of the oneness that you are. Anyway, brilliant, brilliant. And again, we offer this up as a buffet to any of those who wish to participate on the upper planes who may not have been able to join us physically. We offer this to you as an expression of our love and compassion to you. Your light is needed now more than ever, and you are here as one who shines brightly and can bring joy and peace of mind and compassion to others. How you doing, Patrick? You're smiling. I like this.
Yeah. Well, and I'm remembering when we realized that we would be doing this, one of the things that you shared with me too is that in this sacred flame, that we can put anything that's connected with us here, or and everything, I guess, ultimately is connected with us. So if you want to put, like you mentioned, a part of your body or a system that's experiencing discomfort or illness or disease, or if you want to put a relationship or an emotion, or even if you want to put money or anything that's showing up in your life that feels uncomfortable or disharmonious or out of alignment, a place where you're experiencing suffering or where you see suffering around you,
Yes.
knowing that we are all connected. So if you see someone else who's in pain or suffering, or you know someone who could use that love and support, who could use that reminder of who they really are, your flame can also remind other people
That's
of
right.
who they are and bring them into their own purity and their essence. This is something we all share in these human bodies. So knowing that this isn't just a tool for remembering or for healing yourself, it's for the world.
Yes, that's correct. You can put the whole earth in here. You put all the planets, constellations, and I'm so grateful to, I'm going to call her Mother Earth, for wanting to participate, really anchoring us today during this activation and this awakening. I'm deeply grateful for that.
Hmm. And I wonder, so the experience I saw before we tuned in, I wonder if this is an invitation from the earth to, well, to dive in. So if you're game, I can lead us on a short little journey. And I'm realizing now that as you were talking about the sacred flame essence that exists within us across all lifetimes through time and space, that what I saw was deeply connected to the physical and to our physical bodies. And I'm feeling now that as we appreciate that our physical bodies are made of earth and they come from earth, that if we can go back and back and back and back in time to that place before our physical bodies existed, before the elements before of our physical bodies existed, to experience the purity of that, that this will be a real sense of unity with the earth and helping the earth herself reconnect with her sacred flame. So if you're game, Melinda, I'd be delighted to take us back there.
So yes, and should we take questions about the activation and then do that, or okay? Any?
Sure, that sounds great if there's anything that comes up. And again, the questions will remain open.
Okay. Just if anyone had any questions about the work we just continued working. So this original flame, as Patrick mentioned, is something you have to work on every day. It's not just, oh, today I took a shower and then I don't need to shower for the next rest of my life. This is a constant um, re um, I want to. What do I want to say about that? It's a constantly recognizing the you that you are that's connected to everything. So if we don't see any questions, looks like everyone's okay. Did anyone want to share anything about that experience before we take off into a new realm?
And I can mention too that when you talk about this original conception energy, for me, this is the canceling out of the original sin narrative, which
Oh,
was pervasive, and this idea that you are impure from birth, which is something that is a heavy cultural imprint in so many cultures all over the world, and a heaviness that the earth has borne. So for me, I really see this as lifting that veil, that idea of original sin, which is wild. Like why on earth would you come into the earth as an act of sin as opposed to as an act of love, as an act of welcoming? So for me, this is the antidote to the original sin narrative. Oh, and I'm
yeah.
so glad you enjoyed it, Margot.
Yes. Thank you for that comment. And that is so true because the ecstasy from the stasis, getting out of stagnation and activating this beautiful original essence of who we are and living with that. See, this is the thing, awakening it and acknowledging it and honoring it so that daily you become confident and comfortable with who you are, with that shining brightly within.
Hmm.
This is a breaking in a pair of shoes idea. You want to continue to be comfortable with activating this awakening, and when you feel that there is a sense of stagnation, or there's some thwarting or things that aren't flowing, go back to this, and just be still with that within you, and know that you are that purity. and that original conception has come with you through so many lifetimes, many, many, many lifetimes. And again, my guide said, you know, you have a choice in how you interact and with the physical in each lifetime. How fun is that? Yay!
It is.
We get to have fun. Woohoo! In physical bodies, yay! And we get to practice our compassion and tolerance and loving kindness as a human for other humans. Um, that and it allows us to release our judgments about what we think is going on because we don't really know. So practicing this allows that confidence to rest in the faith that all is well and that you will take the actions that you need to take at the time you need to take them, or speak what you need to speak at the time you need to speak it. Trust that will come through you perfectly. Okay, Patrick.
Absolutely. And speaking,
Patrick wants to take
yeah,
us
as soon as I speak of
right into
original.
the Disney. So
So we'll yeah, so we'll go back, and I also wanna give a shout out. I see my friend Kendra is one of my original friends who I've known for more than 30 years has joined. So hi, Kendra.
I
Thank
see
you
it.
for bringing your own original flame here. What a
Yeah,
delight to be with you.
I see old
And so what
and
we'll do
yeah. Okay.
Oh, wonderful. So what we'll do now, and I sometimes am aware of this distinction when we think about our presence across time and space. I often see that as light, that spark, the light that animates our bodies, that animates the physical presence that we are. And then there is also a physical presence that is our body, that exists whether our light is in it or not. The difference between a body that's alive or a body that is no longer alive. So there's a physicalness, and then there's an animating force that lives within that physicalness. And that, is perhaps oversimplifying it, but it's one paradigm that can help us look at why we want to consider the physical bodies that we inhabit and what our bodies are holding on to. We certainly know that intergenerational trauma, this is a thing. Your body inherits things, it has genes, and it's not determinative of what your experience is, but it is present as part of your consciousness. So when we think about what our bodies are made of and where they come from, they all come from the earth. Everything comes from the earth. Everything that is here, everything that is on you, that is part of you, everything that you are looking at in the room where you are right now is made of earth. So similarly, how with this original flame, we went back to our awareness of ourselves before we were in these bodies. We can also now work with the bodily awareness, and that bodily awareness as it's tied to earth. So I'll invite us into a meditative experience, and we'll just move ourselves through a backwards progression back to a time here on earth when perhaps there were no human bodies, back to that time when that first cell came into being, so that we're having that re-emergence of life on earth in its physical form. And I'm getting that when we do that, our bodies are going to experience this and feel this original flame in its fullness in all of our cells. So with all of that said, you want to contribute anything else?
Just one thing I want to say: if you are prone to leaving your body right now, stay grounded. Grab a grounding stone or hold on to something that will ground you, because Patrick loves to take us back out and around.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
have some shungite here with me, a wonderfully grounding stone.
Big, huge tourmaline.
I love it. So I'm also going to ask this shungite, and we can ask your tourmaline as well, to serve as grounding stones and anchors for all of us to really
Yeah.
help us stay within our body and to remember that being in your body is the safest and best place to be. I know
Yes.
there's a lot of almost fetishization of leaving your body or having an out of body experience, or I've heard some spiritual teachers talk about how your body wants you to not be present within it so that it can go through healing processes. This has never been my personal perspective. That may work, that may be okay for others. That is totally fine. The paradigm that I'm going to operate in and that we'll operate in today is you're in your body, stay in your body, and through your body, this is where we're going to move.
Yes.
So, yes, remain anchored.
Excellent. Thank
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay. So I invite all of us to get comfortable. So for me, I'm going to let my shoulders sink down a little bit. I'm going to let myself sink a little further down into my chair. And I'm going to let my breath sink a little bit further down into my body. If you like, you can just let your eyes close ever so gently and just become aware that you're breathing. You can feel the air come in. You can feel it move into your lungs. You can feel it pass from your lungs into your bloodstream. You can feel it circulate around your body. You can feel it moving down, 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 down to the bottoms of your feet, to the tips of your toes. You can feel it moving up through your trunk, down your shoulders, down your arms, to the tips of your fingers. You can feel it moving up your neck, up through your head, up all the way to the top. Maybe you can even feel it moving up above your head and down below your feet. Just feeling your breath circulate and move all throughout your body, delivering life to every single cell. You can feel your breath moving out. You can feel your cells releasing what it's time to release. You feel that moving back into your bloodstream, moving back to your lungs, and then moving out into the air around you. Just feeling this exchange that your breath is, this exchange of life. Drawing life in and breathing life back out. Maybe even being aware that here on Earth, it's thanks to the atmosphere that we're able to have this experience, to this wonderful protective layer of Earth. And maybe you can even be aware of our plant friends all around us who breathe in when we breathe out, who breathe out when we breathe in. Maybe you can become aware that your breath is communication with the earth, that you are receiving, that you are giving, that you are in this perpetual dialogue with the earth. Every moment of your existence here, that your breath is your dialogue, your connection with the earth. It is what creates your cells. It is what creates you. It is what animates you. You can also be aware that you're always breathing, that your body is always breathing. Your body is always in this act of sacred communication, of communion with the earth. And that even in the middle of the night, when you're dreaming, and your body is fast asleep, There it is. Breathing in and breathing out. So from this place of trust in your breath, awareness of this perpetual, ongoing, infinite conversation with the earth, just let your awareness start to move backwards through time. Maybe at first letting it move slowly, just going back a few moments, maybe going back to when we first started being aware of our breath, and then maybe going back further to when we first began this activation. Maybe going back to what you were doing before then. Maybe going back to what you were doing this morning. Let's go back to yesterday. Go back through the day before. Start going back all the way through last week. Go back 2 weeks. Let's go back a month. Let's go back 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Go back a year, being aware of your body a year ago, your cells, your physical presence a year ago. Let's go back 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Let's keep going back 20 years, 30 years. You might already be arriving at a point where you're feeling your presence, your body, your cells, what makes you up. But it's starting to feel different. It's starting to feel other. You're starting to be aware of this cycle of connection with the earth, of how your physical body is coming into being from the earth and going back to the earth. And you're going back 40 years, 50 years, going back, perhaps going back into your ancestors' bodies, where your body came from. It's going back 60 years, 70, 80, 100. Just letting that physical presence go back down the ancestral line. Going back 150 years, 200 years. Like you're going down to the roots of the family tree, going back 250 years, going back 500 years. Just letting all the elements that make up your physical body, letting your DNA, the potential of you go back further and further in time, going back 700, 800, 1,000 years. Back further, 2,000 years, 3,000, 5,000, back 10,000 years, 20,000 years. And back in a time now where things feel very different, where the connection with the earth is perhaps more palpable. You're deep in the roots of the tree. Going back 200,000 years, 300,000 years. Going back to the ancestors of humans, back 400,000 years, 500,000, 600,000, going back 1,000,000 years, going back to times before humans, long before 5 million, 10 million. Back, 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 all the way to that very first moment when a cell formed, when life formed here on Earth, all the way back to that one single cell, that first time that cell came into being, that membrane appeared, that first time that life felt itself exist in a way that was somehow separate from the Earth, made of, but somehow separate. Maybe even letting that dissolve, letting the membrane around that cell dissolve, just letting all the ingredients of life that are in there just dissolve into this primordial soup. Just feeling Earth as the perfect place for life to emerge, the perfect place for life to emerge. Maybe even the only place that this kind of life could ever emerge. Feeling the uniqueness, the beauty, the love, the support, the abundance, the vitality. Feeling how all of the ingredients that we could need for these wonderful lives we lead, that they were all here from the very, very, very beginning. How these were offered to us from Mother Earth. Now they still exist within you and around you. And notice and feel how your body right now is made of these primordial ingredients. And how you, in your choice of how you live, how you reshape these ingredients, how you bake them and cook them and make them into the perfect confection that is you. And just feeling how you have everything that you need. How here on earth is everything you could ever want or ever need. How you are loved, you are cared for. And from this place, sending a deep, deep blessing down into the core of the earth. Blessing filled with love and gratitude. Perhaps even a promise you could make right now to yourself in your own original flame. To bring this beauty, this purity, this abundance, this love, to bring it into the physical world around you. To make it manifest. And perhaps you could bring your hands together in that sacred flame gesture. Feeling your flame, feeling the flame of the earth, holding them together and here, perhaps even feeling them as one and the same. Perhaps you could draw that gently to your lips. You could breathe it in. As an act of loving communication, a promise, an offering, you could breathe it out. And if you like, you can let your eyes breathe softly open to a gentle focus. Just remembering again that your body is made of earth. Everything that you're wearing, everything that you're looking at is made of earth. Take a wonderful breath in and a wonderful breath out. Just know and remember that this connection is always there. It's in every cell, it's in every moment, and anytime you want to feel it, you can make this sacred flame. You can feel that presence and that link with the earth. You can breathe it in, you can breathe it out. Well, thank you so much for joining me on that adventure. I'm always curious what's going to come through.
Beautiful. That was beautiful. Thank you for that. Hold on to your grounding stones.
Yes, absolutely. Even for the next while, I find it can be really helpful after these kinds of activations as I walk around to really be aware of the bottoms of my feet
Yes.
and
Yes.
just feel the soles of my feet making contact with the ground all around me. And even feeling myself if I feel a state of bliss or if I feel a state of beauty or of connection, feeling that reverberate into the earth, imagining or feeling that go downwards so that
Yes.
that grounding can also be a blessing to the earth, which it is, as you so beautifully described. When we ground ourselves, we are blessing the earth.
Yes. It's wonderful. Now, if anyone has any comments or questions, we'd love to help you with that. And if anyone would like any extra assistance in activating or awakening and honoring your primordial flame, you welcome to reach me or welcome to get in touch with Patrick. I'm sure that I've been doing activations pretty much since 2008, and I find them just coming through whenever. As Patrick mentioned, you never know what's going to come through, and these things come through, and we are more than happy to be of assistance to you. Um, so there's that.
Absolutely. Yeah, and if you have any ideas or if anything is coming through you that you want to share with us, then please let us know if there are things that you'd like to explore more. I know, Melinda, you had the brilliant idea for this being an activation cafe. So knowing that this is a space that the two of us continue to share and to offer, perhaps on Substack or perhaps elsewhere, we can see where things go. But I love having this as a space where we can just allow what wants to come through to come through. So this also includes all of you who are joining us here with us. If there are things that you'd like to explore, activations that are showing up for you or through you, then please let us know.
Yeah.
So yes, we're there to support you and to provide additional help if you wish. And also we're here to listen.
Yes, absolutely. And I do have a activation cafe on my YouTube channel. You're welcome to go and look at the videos there. And I know Patrick has a series of activations that he does with the monthly changes, right?
I do. I'll be doing one tomorrow night with an Aries retreat. That'll be tomorrow night at 8 p.m. UK time. And I know right now we are 4 hours ahead of the East Coast. So it'll be 4 p.m. on East Coast time and 1 p.m. Pacific. And I think, if I'm right, it'll be 11 a.m. in Hawaii. So
Yeah.
you're all very welcome to join for that. That similarly, I have kind of an idea of what I'll be talking about. And then also, we'll see what shows up.
So thank you. Thank you all for joining us. And wherever you have come in from, lovely to have you here. Lovely to connect and communicate with you. And please do add anything in the chat that you'd like. And I'd love to hear your feedback. Also, you can email me. You can find me on the Substack. It's Melinda at melindain.com. maybe I'll put that
Yeah.
in it for you. You can email me or you can check out my website.
Oh, thank you, Margot. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. It's so nice to have you here.
And thank you. And we worked great together. This was our first time.
Yeah, with no rehearsal. We just sort of talked about it and realized this is what we were doing.
And
And
I'm going to pop in my website here.
I'll put mine in as well. And we're also both here in Substack. I'm guessing if you're joining us here in Substack Live, you probably have easy access to our Substack.
Oh, yeah.
Um, Here's my website as well. And truly, if there are any questions or any individual things that are showing up for you, I'm happy to stand for a few extra minutes for kind of after hours Q&A style. If there's any individual, yeah, things you want to share or questions you wanted to ask,
Absolutely.
um, please, we're all ears. Well, tell me for you, how was it for you, Melinda?
I thought it was fantastic. I enjoyed it. I love what came through last night. Things kept popping into my mind, and I was like, had to write all of these things down. And I'm so excited to share this work. The essence of the divine spark. I, I'm so happy to see that in people when I see them. That they've done this, that they're showing up. Um, it's just beautiful, and it will, as Patrick mentioned, as you show up as yourself, you allow others the freedom and the safety and the understanding that it's okay that they show up with this spark, with this light shining through them. It's not something you have to advertise and tell people, because it just exists within you, and they'll see it in you when you walk into a room or you interact with others. It's a humble, kind confidence that allows others to feel safe in your presence.
It is, and just knowing that your presence alone is empowering other people to move into their own presence more consciously. And I just got a sentence that just came into my mind was that we all want the same thing in our own unique way.
That's right.
So, what it's like to be in that space of really wanting to live with compassion and love and togetherness and to be a creator and to be free and to enjoy your life. We all want this. Our way of getting there is going to be very different depending on who we are and where we find ourselves, but we all want the same things. And we have permission to want those. And that original flame for me really puts me back in touch with the me who wants these things and is allowed to want them versus feeling like I was having a conversation the other day with someone about how, at least in the spiritual world, so often I talk so much about love and living in love and the power of love. And when I do work with intention, it's all centered around love. And then in the corporate world, you're not allowed to talk about love. You can talk about, maybe you can talk about support or maybe you can talk about resourcing, but you can't talk about love. You might get in trouble if you talk about love. It's forbidden. And I was thinking, can you imagine if like someone came into my family and was like, listen, Patrick, you can't tell your kids you love them. Sure, you can support them or like you can give them a positive review for how they did today, but you can't tell them you love them as people. What? Like, what are we doing? Why have we created these structures of this veneer of being professional that prevents us from expressing this beautiful love that we have to offer? So that to
Well,
me is sort of,
and it is love with discrimination. It's okay for you to discriminate, and it's okay to know, when to not cross the street or when to cross the street. It's okay to do that because you also must protect your physical system. So, the love could also mean I love you from across the street.
mhm. Absolutely. You gotta use your discernment. That's totally okay too. And to me, as we move more into this awareness that there is no separation, that we're all unified, it's no longer like there's a boundary between like you're over there and I'm over here. It's more, I love you and I love you there. And the best way for me to love you is you being over there right
Yes.
now. I kind of
Yes.
think about this when I think about emotional regulation. If you're getting really angry and upset, the best thing for you to do is probably leave the room and calm down somewhere. And that's the most loving thing that you can do. So sometimes the most loving thing that you can do is give yourself some distance.
Yes.
from whatever it is that's around you without judging it, without thinking it's negative, just acknowledging, okay, the best thing for me to do is to look after myself in these circumstances, which is
Yep.
also kind of Aries energy of I need to do me. Like I need to look after me first. And when I do that, then I'm regulated and I'm able to help other people. Because
Right.
if you're not regulated, you're not going to be able to help. You can't find a solution. You can't find a way forward.
Yes. Thank you, Margot. Love that.
No, thank you so much, Margot.
So she's so wonderful. I love her in the chat. And it's so funny because my screen, I'm looking, I find myself looking in all these different places because Patrick's to my right, but my camera's above me. So I'm sorry if my eyes have been all all over the place. And this will be a recording that will be accessible somehow. I know we'll have this as a recording. We can share it. So it's something you can come back to. Um, It'll be posted, I'm sure, on Patrick's channel, my channel. We'll share this activation so you can come back to it. Perhaps we have to talk about how you want to do that, Patrick. But maybe allow it to be viewed so
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
can come back and feel that meditation and feel that clearing and activating. Again, if you felt any, any ideas that you felt were preventing you from really letting that flame come up, please get in contact with us. We are here to help you. Yeah,
Wonderful. Well, it's
go
been such a pleasure.
aloha.
Yes, big aloha.
And thank you. Thank you for all of the prayers for Hawaii right now and around the world. We do send light to all the suffering around the planet right now. We ask for the causes of happiness and love be sent to everyone um, in the in that might be in the feeling the dark right now. We're sending our love and compassion your way, and we hope it comes through. The light pierces through. So, thank you.
I trust that it will. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to be here with you, Melinda, to be here with all of you. We'll send out the, like you mentioned, we'll send out the video, I think, on it. We can send it out on our Substack. So if you'd like to receive it, you can subscribe to both or either. And we'll let you know when the next one is.
Excellent.
All
Yay!
right.
Thank you,
Big
Pat.
love and aloha.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye.